getting lots of traditional teacher sites out and links and sharing thoughts until April Fool's Day of 2008, when I decided to have a little fun with it, and I blogged that No Child Left Behind had been repealed. It got a lot of responses. I had one person who wrote in to scold me for being so unprofessional, and one person actually wrote in to say that No Child Left Behind was the best thing that ever happened to education. I think it was still April Fool's Day when they wrote in. But the thing was, I got 21 responses, which for my blog at that time was huge. There was a community there after all, but I didn't know it. It took humor to bring it out. Well, the blog folded and I moved on to Twitter, and at that time Twitter was very new and not a whole lot was happening, and so I moved on to Facebook. But I had a lot of trouble making things happen there. I was still doing the same old thing, but not getting too many likes. And in my frustration, I turned to the wisdom of Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise, who said, "The more complex the mind, the greater the need for the simplicity of play." And I thought, you know, we take ourselves so seriously. We should, but we need a place where we can get together with like-minded people and play. We became English teachers because we appreciate language. We love to read, we love to write, we can smell irony. And so I thought, you know, wouldn't it be fun for us to have a place where a pun got the respect it deserved, and a literary This is one of the top 10 likes on the Facebook page. Anything to do with Edgar Allan Poe, we like it. So I thought, you know, why should students be the only ones to have fun with things? Why couldn't we have a place where we could play with the language? Okay, over hum? Whole different dimension all of a sudden. So I started posting things that we could play with. Now, this particular grocery store aisle marker received just rousing condemnation, but the teacher on top is ready to turn it into a KWL chart. And the teacher on the bottom wants to turn it into a Zen poem. On my morning walk, now the Stouts are on the left there, I found that rock on some, and the Bennetts are on the right, and they have an apostrophe. Now, I turned that into a little exit slip activity. But later that night, Daniel Keyes said, you know, I asked my wife, Amy Stout, about this. And his buddy, Jay Sheckley, says, you know, I was thinking about her. And then Amy herself came in later. Well, no Bennett's currently on my hit list. People started sending me things that they found, like this horribly misused preposition. In fact, I started wondering if maybe people were photoshopping things to send me, but then I'd get corroboration. Somebody wrote, I know this place. It's in Portland, Oregon. And no, I don't think they do this on purpose. And I saw that we were developing a community of people. What if English language arts teachers had our own sleazy magazine? This is a work of art. Grammar Girl Indian Fogarty launched her new book, This Was the Ad. Now, my personal favorite is what to do when he begs the question. Those of us who teach logical fallacies, this works on so many levels. And I knew we were having a lot of fun. But we also were taking time for serious questions. If somebody wanted to ask about whether blue books are still used in college-level writing, and receive some very thoughtful responses, the people who can laugh together are the people who can also work together. Now, I wasn't altogether sure how valuable this was until one of the teachers referred to it as enrichment. And then I got it. Captain Kirk was right. We have complex lives and complex lives. If we can laugh at the right things, the rest of it will sort itself out. I promise you that's a real place. I took that picture myself.